My name is Leo Connors, and welcome to the New England Indy Insider. This new show will preview all upcoming shows in the New England independent wrestling scene. We will cover all 6 great states of New England. We will also review the past shows that we previewed. This is a very exciting project. I am not alone in bringing you this unique show. Along with me, as of now, we have, joining me, Jason Rumble, Bobby Rossi, Davis Wright, J.P. Griffin, Tony Brenton, David Fournier, Scott Anthony, Dan Bolia, Jerry Lane, and helping out on promoting will be the lovely Amy DeBona. Real quick, I want to give a special thanks to Mike Crockett for helping out editing this first episode. With no shows in the area announced yet, I just wanted to put out the first episode telling everybody what the show is all about. And it is about showcasing all of the companies in New England and will benefit anyone that wrestles in the New England area. We will have a spotlight segment where we interview show clips of said spotlighted wrestler, faction, tag team, or promotion. On this first episode, we will be spotlighting Killanova Inc. Killanova Inc. consists of former Chaotix Women's Champion Tasha Steelz, former 2-time Chaotic Tag Team Champions Royce Bishop and Triplicious, and the current Chaotic Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, top talent, Christian Casanova. So please enjoy this extra long spotlight segment on Killanova. Guys, how are you?
What up, Leo?
Good, man. Doing good, man. Yeah, trying to stay up.
Awesome. Just to let you guys know, this new show that we're doing is going to really showcase all the talent in New England, all the companies. Anyone that wrestles in New England, they'll be talked about here on this show. There's about 10 of us right now doing the show. We're going to have 3 different people doing the TV shows themselves. As I'm one of the hosts, Jason Rumble's going to do one show, and Bobby Rossi down in Rhode Island is going to be doing another one. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, I think. But I think it's going to be worth it to showcase the absolute best place to wrestle, in my opinion, right here in New England.
And you went and got the best crew for your first episode, too. So, I mean,
I most certainly did.
Start hard, yeah.
You're absolutely right. And just so real quick, you guys are the 2-time former tag team champions, Chaotic Tag Team Champions, Royce and Triplicious. And right now, Christian, you are still the Chaotic Heavyweight Champion. Yes?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, yes.
I mean, if this thing runs long enough, Christian might be the longest reigning champ of all time. So
yeah, right.
There you go. Hey,
that's what I'm hoping.
I hope he never loses it. I didn't want you guys to lose the tag team champs, but I guess what's that say? You can't win them all, right?
That's a fact.
All right, guys. So listen. First off, I want to thank you for being the first guest on the new show, the Spotlight segment. You guys all had singles career before getting together. So we really just want to cover you guys and showcase and spotlight you guys together. You've all been guests on my other show, so it really has nothing to do with that. So, guys, I have to bring this up. Tasha Steelz, she's another member of you guys, and we were just talking off here. Can you fill these guys in on what's going on with Tasha, the other member of Killanova?
Shout out to Tasha. Shout out to Impact Wrestling because I don't know how long she signed for, but she signed to Impact, and she's on TV right now. So on Tuesday nights on Access. She's definitely she's represented for the culture. Culture season, she showed up. She had the towel on. Boricua badass. We support her 100%.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Nice. Yeah, it was great to see her on. You know, I know she did NWA Power too. Yeah, she did look great.
Yeah. Oh, she's been ready. Tasha's so good. I told her she fit right in.
Definitely. Guys, the last show that I went to that I saw you guys on was March 13th in Andover, Mass for Chaotic Wrestling. And the next show would have been Cold Fury 19. Do you guys know? I mean, I know, Christian, your match is still definitely going to happen. It's against Josh Briggs, Anthony Green, and Mike Verna. Mm-hmm. Do you guys know who you guys are going to be taking on in tag action?
Yeah, absolutely. We know. We're getting a shot at our belts again.
Nice.
It's either that or Riot, right? It's either that or Riot, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. And this coronavirus has screwed up everything for everybody. I had asked you guys off air. Everybody's safe and healthy. I'm very glad to hear that about all you guys and your families. So one other thing I have to bring up real quick. Maybe not the last show, but the show before. It looked like you guys were having some problems in the ring. Obviously, I would say all that's been taken care of, as I see I have all three of you here with me.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Things happen.
Right. Excellent.
Things happen, and you can't let. Yeah. My bad.
Right.
So,
all right. So
you know
listen,
what? We had a little bit of an issue with Christian traveling out west and kind of leaving us high and dry, but it was cool. Like he gotta go get his money and get his name out there out west. So you can't be mad at that. We'd be jealous, and that wouldn't be a good look for our team if we held him back. So
not at all.
Right.
Well, and off camera, it's all cool. You know, what they show on camera at Chaotic is completely different of what happens off camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. I mean, you're dealing with a bunch of alpha males, straight up. So there's gonna be some disagreements every now and again, but at the end of the day, man, it's for the culture, for the season. You know what I mean? Culture season.
Right. Well, you guys are heels, but man, people still love you though. And I know you guys don't really care about that. I definitely know that.
No, definitely.
Yeah, if you talk to Christian always says it when people ask him about like being a heel or a baby face, and he always says it best, like we're just us. Like we do things the way we do it, and like you either like incorporate it and you down with us or you're not, and then that's cool. You're a basic and we don't rock with you. But you can tell by looking out in the audience, it's like you see the merch, you see everyone rocking the gear and they're waving the towels and like they respect what we do, and so we get down with those people. And if not, like it's cool.
And I think that had a lot to do with it. Getting the merch, getting the towels, having the beanies, representing that really made people kind of want to go towards us, I think, a little bit more.
Right.
Facts. And I think it's just just like the work that each of us has put in individually as well as collectively as the group. You know what I mean? It's just something that most people. I mean, you see it out there, Leo, when you go to shows. We out there, and some people like us, some people don't, but the majority do seem to like us. As you can see, all those towels and all those merch in the stands and whatnot.
Right. Now, I did notice that you guys have started branching out more, not just wrestling as Killanova and other companies, not just Chaotic. I noticed you guys are at Atlantic Pro Wrestling, Lucky Pro. How is that? How is going about, getting booked in other companies as Killanova? Did the companies approach you? Did you guys approach other companies, or how did all that happen?
I think it was both.
Go ahead, Christian. You can talk about what
I was going to say, I think it was both. I think that they were starting to see like this dynamic between the three of us, and either it's Trips and I for the longest time, and then Royce and Trips, and then either Royce and I. People just see the dynamic that we have. And then, like I said, with that branding of Culture Season, why wouldn't you want that, on your show or on your brand?
With something different, man.
Yeah, definitely. And what I told you guys before, I would love to see you guys just keep evolving and moving together as a group, I know nothing lasts forever, but I'm hoping the Culture Season lasts forever in my eyes.
Definitely.
No, absolutely.
Definitely.
I think this is something that's not just like a Chaotic stable. It really wasn't that, at least with Royce and I, and then Trips and I have teamed so many places over the years. So, I mean, regardless of if we're teaming up or we're being one sort of team at the same place, like we're still a crew. Same with Tasha.
Exactly. It don't matter where anyone goes, man. It's still for the culture. You know what I mean? I love these guys. Tasha as well, man. Like we just gel well. Just everything about us just fits just right. And I couldn't have asked, like during my second tenure of my wrestling journey, I couldn't have asked for something better than this group right here. You know what I mean? Right. Definitely easily one of the best things I've done in this area in my whole journey, And
we wanted to extend the reach. Like that was the goal. Whether we're together somewhere or I mean, if Christian gets booked by himself in Florida or Arizona, he's still going and repping Culture Season. He's at NEW repping Culture Season if we're
Limitless.
we're at Lucky Pro Wrestling as the tag team champions, myself and Trigger, and we'll rep there even when Christian and Tosh isn't around. So I mean, that's always the goal, is for us to go infiltrate everywhere and put the culture season on the map everywhere we possibly can.
Right. And I think you guys complement each other perfectly, really. Royce, you're the big man, the power. Christian, you are the upcoming, star. And Triggs, I mean, honestly, you're such a veteran. You've been around a long time, and I'm not trying to say that to be old, because I'm a lot older than you. I'm just saying that, the leadership that you could help these guys, showing these guys some things, as young guys,
Definitely, man. Like you hit the nail on the head right there. I bring that longevity, and I just let the team, the young guys, do their thing. Since I have I still hold that the agent of the group, right? That's how we started and whatnot. So I never let that side go away. So especially in the back and getting with management and just pushing forward. Pushing the whole culture forward. That's how we do. We're for each other, but the goal is for the culture, you know what I mean? If you know what that means.
And just to even go off that, Trips was a very important part when we first started with the Killanova Inc. Even Kathy, but like mostly Trips. Between him and I, what we were able to accomplish on our own with what they gave us wasn't much, but I think we took it and we ran with it. Even when we started adding people into the group, and then Royce just fit in perfectly. But yeah, no, shout out to Triplicious, because if it wasn't for you, it probably wouldn't have been this long either. Then we've been still doing this.
Definitely, we definitely put in that. Not to put the whole us over and whatnot, but we definitely put in work, man. Like, I feel like it was kind of put together to kind of help you, whatnot, and it was something that was going to be like, it'll help Christian in the long run, on his way up, but it won't be anything much more than that. It'll fizzle out or whatever. They weren't feeling it. Here we are, 4 years later, man, 3-4 years later, strong. Extending that reach out. So definitely proud of this group, man.
A lot of the newer fans that have come around, and seen you guys don't really know that you guys have a little bit of a past with Mistress Belmont, Kathy, as you say. Have you guys talked to her at all lately?
Unfortunately, me not. But she still, we still got love for her, man. As the original and how, how it all started and whatnot. Like, we got love for Kathy. Like, she put in work, like, in the beginning and all that. So definitely proud of her too. No problems. I haven't talked to her though, because of the whole, with this whole Rona thing. I haven't really done much, man.
Right. Yeah, but it's all love. When we see Kathy at shows, it's all love.
Nice. Well, and when Royce joined you guys, I mean, honestly, I could tell as a fan immediately how he was going to help you. I mean, Royce, you're a big dude, man, very powerful and a really great wrestler. What was it like when you joined these guys? What was it like for you?
When I did your show before, so I mean, hopefully people can go and check that out and kind of see that interview and the story behind it. So, without getting like too much into it, when I was coming back to wrestling, the question was always, how I was going to fit with Christian at some point. Christian's like my little brother outside of wrestling. Like, it goes way deeper than wrestling. So we had always talked about how I could fit with him. And honestly, once I was ring ready again and I had gotten in shape, the question was asked me, what did I want to do? What was my preference? Did I want to go out and be on my own and try to just establish a name for myself, or did I want to go run with Killanova? And it was a no-brainer for me. I would have, maybe I would have grew faster going by myself, but I wanted to do it this way. And I think looking back on it, was definitely the better decision. I became a better tag team wrestler working with Trigger, and being able to travel the road with Christian is like everything I've wanted to do. I wouldn't want to travel the road with any other guys than these guys.
That's nice. All right. Guys, Greg, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Christian.
Nope. One time.
Oh, okay. All right. Guys, I want to ask each one of you, I'll go down the line, and I want to know like some of your favorite and your best matches that you have. Christian, we'll start with you. Some of your best matches that you've had as a member of Killanova.
Wow. I'm trying to think, because you guys are involved in all my matches. So I'm just trying to think of one of the ones that
stick out.
I loved our ladder match that Trips and I had. That was a big one. Remember that Trips against MSB?
Yep.
I love that match. I'm trying to think of. I've had so many good matches, but with the crew, what we've been doing every time we've been in the ring lately. What did we have? We had that. It wasn't even that chaotic. We had that time when we all teamed, Tasha, myself, Royce, and Trips in New York for Battle Club. That was dope.
Yeah.
And then I can't think of any particular moment, but just so many moments. Even you know what it was, the first Culture Corner I think was probably like the best time. That first one. Now, like we didn't know what we were gonna do, but then when Chase and the Logans came out and interrupted us, and that was a good night.
That was good.
Yeah, and we didn't even do anything. We didn't have to wrestle or anything like that.
Right. And I think at that point that was before like the fans really started getting behind us. So we had a lot of heat. Which I think, not to take away from the hooligans, but like I think that gave them more of a reaction because they were coming out with against us at that point.
Yeah.
Fans really hated us at that point. I had just got introduced to the group, had just got involved in a Malonis match. So, he was a baby face at the time. So I think like we were establishing a lot of heat and, Trigger yelling at all the kids and calling them basics and swearing at them.
You shut your mouth.
You start calling guys' girlfriends mud ducks and stuff. And we're gonna get
whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. Now, if I had to think, like if you ask me about Christian, there's one that at least in chaotic that sticks out with me for me is it was Christian, Briggs, and Dijak, 3-way for the
New England
title. Oh man, that was that one was. If you got a chance, if that's out there somewhere, you guys got a chance to see that. That was dope, man. That was a good one. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right. All right.
Yeah. As far as myself and Royce, I really enjoyed Davey and JT. That dynamic is that's a weird dynamic. Dealing with dealing with a intergender tag team like that. I've never done that. That was kind of weird for me. Center Slaughter was a good one. I liked. We had a really good match with the Rep out in New York.
I love that match.
It was good stuff out there. Like it was hot. Everyone was feeling it. Like that was good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. The match with the Rep, that was my first match back after separating my shoulder, and I was still going through it. And Tripp stepped up and took a lot of that beating from those guys, to help protect me. And we had a great match. Like the stuff I was able to do, I went back and watched it, and I felt like that was like the best that we looked. Even
shout out to the Rep, man. Like,
yeah, they're great.
Anytime.
Like if we're talking about guys that we can work again, those are definitely guys I want to see again down the road. We had some good chemistry with Bear Country. I think we had
Bear
a great
Country, yes.
Oh yeah,
love those guys. They're always ready to go to for war.
Yeah,
Summer Chaos. We had a good match with them. We fought all over Haverhill High School. That was a good time too. And yeah, that chemistry that we have with Davey and JT. Because it's always been good, and I mean, shout to JT anyways. I mean, he's just he's flawless in the ring. He helps so many of us look so much better. I know like the growth that Christian experienced working with him for like a whole year.
Right.
And then myself being able to come into it and work with someone like him has definitely helped me. And then lastly, like Tripp said, the match with Santa Slaughter. Danny Moff is
a beast,
a monster, dude. He's a monster.
I mean, he hit me with 4 centons to open the match, and if you like, some smash mouth and beat the hell out of each other kind of wrestling, like that's a match I wouldn't mind having again too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wasn't in a hurry to get back to be getting in that ring for that.
It's funny because I have a bunch of tag teams written down that you guys have worked, and the very first two were Sent to Slaughter and Bear Country, and we just covered them right there. Great teams, and you guys had great matches with them. Again, the Logans, you guys had plenty of great matches with them and Chase.
Definitely.
What do you guys think about Chase's new tag team partner, Charlie Cashew?
That dude's nuts.
We don't think about him.
I don't think about that.
All right. You have to admit, right now there's some great tag teams in Chaotic. There's not just a couple. There's some real, there's 4 or 5 good tag teams out there.
I'll tell you what, Leo. There is a couple. Like you said, I ain't gonna front. There is some good tag teams out there, but I don't know about anybody else. But I know this team right here is looking forward to Davey and JT. I mean, the fun and games are over. We definitely ready to get our titles back and get back to running the game.
Excellent.
For sure. The rest of those tag teams, I mean,
don't even matter right now.
As far as I'm concerned, like they're lower on the totem pole. Like we're next up to get our belts back. So, we're not really concerned with them. I don't think they can come challenge us for the belts once we win them back.
Yeah.
Right. Excellent. So let me ask you guys about the owner of Chaotic and the head trainer and owner of the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, Brian Fury. You guys like to get in the ring with him? Slap him around?
Christian did.
Yeah.
I did. I was there. I saw that.
When someone didn't show up. Who didn't show up? Who was scared to fight you that day, Christian?
Carlito
the first time? Yeah. And then you whooped his ass the second time anyway, so it's cool.
He didn't want the smoke. And it's a lot like that. You've realized real quick that, they don't want the smoke.
Right.
I mean, as far as Fury goes,
we wanted to do Leo, you remember Team Friendship, right?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, Mark Sherman and Scotty Smith.
Tell me that wouldn't be a good 6-man tag. Team Friendship and Brian Fury versus Coach's Season.
That would be awesome.
All 3 of us.
You think Sherman will come out of retirement for that?
Man,
he doesn't want it. He doesn't want you guys to beat his ass.
No, he don't want it.
No, I've told him and I've asked him, and I mean, I don't know.
Well, we was calling about that last time.
We've been calling him up for like 3 years.
You know what I mean?
Not even kidding.
Right?
He don't want it. He don't want it.
But you guys know too. I mean, I'll admit he was over.
This ain't the same Chaotic. This ain't the same Chaotic though.
No.
Right.
We're running the game. In this Chaotic, he'd be obsolete. Just like a bunch of the other guys that beneath.
Fossils.
That's like pretty much how it goes.
The dinosaurs, they're extinct.
But
no, I mean, in all honesty though, like I know Fury comes back for some one-offs here and there, and I loved it. I never got to work him, but besides in class and him as my trainer and as my mentor. I mean, I'd love that opportunity to be able to work with him if he was still willing to go. But I mean, today's his birthday. He just turned 41. I mean, unless he's rolling down with his cane and crutches, then.
Hey man,
I don't think he's running with your boy because I'm coming out of
old jokes. Let's calm down with old jokes.
Hey, I did see a little interaction between you and Brian today on Facebook saying he still thinks he can outrun you.
I would hate to admit it. He can move.
But he probably can, right?
No, he probably can. He can move. So I'm not going to take that away from him. He can definitely run.
Nice. Listen, you brought up JT Dunn earlier. I got to ask you guys about this because I wasn't actually at this show. I couldn't make it that night. The night that you guys took on JT Dunn and X-Pac.
Oh, man. That was dope. That was such a dope experience.
I tried to forget that because I got screamed at.
Oh, you did? See, I miss everything.
I was supposed to use. Remember how I used to carry the trophy? I remember I was supposed to hit him with the trophy, and I messed up in Triple H, and I lost the match because of it.
Yeah. That was.
Did you guys get any good feedback though from X-Pac?
Yeah,
he was just so cool. Yeah, he was just very cool to us, and that's the most thing I can remember about that. He was very cool.
Christian, did you go to the seminar the next day? You did, right?
I did, yeah. So I got additional kind of knowledge from him the next day.
That was really cool. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys talked backstage before or after the match, but he went to the school the next day to do a seminar, and it was really insightful. That guy's a wealth of knowledge, but of course, like, look who he travels the road with. I mean, all those guys, amazing minds for the business.
Yeah, I actually met him one time in Hudson at a benefit for I think it's like 50 legs for the people that when you lose your legs. This guy Steve Chamberlain does this big thing about that. But he had brought in X-Pac, and I'd met him. What a great guy he really was. He was great to everyone that day, and what a veteran, Mm-hmm. All right, guys, listen. Let's we got about another 15 minutes or so. I kind of wanted to talk to you about what's next for Killanova.
Good question. We don't, really nobody knows what's next for anybody. So I think as time comes, we'll figure out kind of a schedule and when Chaotic is coming back and, when the independents are coming back. But right now, like I've talked to Royce about it. It's just taking the time, just kind of get yourself together and just come back fresh, because I know a lot of us take, a lot of time over the years, just going and going and going and going. And then, you don't really get a break. And this, for me, speaking for myself, was my first break. So I'm enjoying the hell out of it, honestly. And then when when it's time to get back to work, then we'll kind of lay down a game plan and see what we need to do and keep it moving where we left off.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to Christian, the other day about this. We were talking about just like for him, he was wrestling 4 times a week. And I think, if I'm not wrong, the last couple matches he had, he was getting banged up. I think you got kind of missed the apron on a bump, hit the ground on a power bomb outside. Like, Christian was kind of banged up. So I think, I'm sure he'll say it's much needed rest. For myself, I got to go in next week for MRI on my shoulder. My shoulder didn't heal the way it was supposed to. So, I wouldn't be able to do that if I was wrestling. I'd probably be just wrestling through the pain. So quarantine's definitely going to, help me get right and focus on just getting in the best shape I possibly can. I think all 3 of us have to come out of this better than we were before we went in. And, I think a big focus if we can get back this year, great. But, my mindset is to make 2021 the best year we possibly can and hopefully see all 3 of us on a TV screen with Tosh.
Yeah, man. I think this is, after it's all said and done, I think it'll be a chance to take it to the next level, right? There's so many opportunities coming up because of this, unprecedented BS that's going on right now. So I think we'll be all right, and we'll come out stronger because of it.
I was saying it on Twitter, and me and Christian talked about it a few times too. Unfortunately, I don't want anybody to lose their job, but with WWE letting go of so many guys, there are so many amazing talents out on the indies right now that we could work with that we didn't have the opportunity to. So, I'd love to see, like Hero come back, have a chance to work with him if he decides to get back with JT. That would be a great tag for us. Matches. Mike Bennett. If the Kingdom looks like from their posts, it looks like they might be getting back together. So it's there's so many more opportunities out there. For these guys that are hitting the indies, and I think we got a lot to prove. I know Christian definitely wants to show them, why he's top talent on the indies right now. So. Let some of those guys come down here and kind of test the waters on who the best is since they've been gone.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
I'm always down for a scrap. Always.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see you guys take on Ryder and Hawkins even,
Absolutely.
All right. All right. So seeing there's no shows lined up and everything, I'm going to take this in a different route right now. Royce, we know that you're into the music and you're a rapper and all that. What do you listen to now? Like right now, if you had to just go play one album, one CD or whatever you want to call it, who would it be?
Oh man. I don't get with the times. I'm not with the new stuff, but
okay.
Yeah, a lot of people.
That's my same answer.
People watching this, they probably won't know this, but Pop Smoke, rest in peace. His album that's been my go-to with my work. workouts and everything. The new Pop Smoke album is great. But I listen to a lot of older stuff. I'm also a huge R&B head, so that's a lot of stuff for me is I'm listening to old Bobby Brown and 90s music and stuff still.
Nice. Christian, same question.
Yeah, depends on my mood, really, honestly. Like if I'm, in the gym, I'm listening to the baby. I'm listening to kind of what's hot today. But like same with Royce, I am kind of like an old head at heart. So I like to listen to older school music, and lighter music, R&B. But like I said, it all depends on my mood. But lately I've been in kind of like a beast mode mood where I've been just going hard and just staying focused. So like a lot of rap and a lot of stuff just to get me pumped up, just build my confidence back up.
All right. And Trig, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, being from
Trig, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, being from the actual old school. Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, if I had to, grab an album, just listen to it, be something like, it's still old stuff, but Eminem, and anything Eminem. The older stuff is new. The stuff that when he first came out, Dr. Dre, Chronic 2001 is always a classic. The newer stuff, you can catch me listening to Joyner Lucas, NF, Hobson. I'm not up with the newer guys, but like I put in my Pandora, and that's how I get to the other newer guys and whatnot. But a lot of those guys are popping right now. So, but then again, man, I listen to everything. It has to be mood. Like you could catch me playing poker or whatnot online, and I'm listening to straight 1920s, 1930 jazz. So depends.
Nice,
mood, man.
Okay. How about TV shows, guys? Just real quick, I'm a huge fan of this new show called Snowfall. Have you guys checked that show out?
Love Snowfall. Snowfall is amazing.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, so Snowfall was originally directed and produced by John Singleton, who did Boys in the Hood.
No way, yeah.
And he passed away when they were filming the third season. So, they took over, and it sucks because I watched the third season, and then we hit quarantine. It's like, oh well, everything's on pause. So it's Leo, that's a great show.
Yeah, I actually as soon as the quarantine hit, I rewatched it. I rewatched Snowfall, and I'm a big fan of The Wire. Did you guys watch The Wire when it was on?
Nah, not The Wire.
I definitely know of it. Yeah.
No, I was a big fan of The Wire. I try to binge a lot of stuff. Like I go back and binge stuff. I don't watch a lot of stuff when it's brand new and out.
Yeah, no, man. I
like
can't
there's no TV shows that entertain me right now that are like I binged like Breaking Bad a couple months ago. Or
my favorite.
I hate when the entire world puts over a show, or it just makes me not want to watch it more, man.
What, Tiger King?
I'm the same way.
And then I go back. I'll go back and watch it, whatever, year later or whatever. And it's like, man, this show is dope. Like,
I know, all the time.
But what kind of shows we talking about though? Like newer shows, older shows?
Any show, whatever you like to watch. I mean, seeing now that they got the Hulu and the Netflix, I mean, you can watch shows from back in the early '80s for crying out loud now. So whatever you like.
Recently, like I just finished Power. That show was ridiculous. That show's awesome.
I can't wait for the new series for them to spin off that.
Yes.
Oh, so they are going to do it?
Yeah, they're doing 4 spinoffs.
Oh man, yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
That show is awesome. But like I watch anything as long as it's.
I like all those kind of
comedies and stuff. I like a lot of comedy sitcoms.
Yeah, I watched a lot of series this quarantine, but the best one that I had.
No, but I'll check it out.
I don't know if you guys watched it.
Things about that.
Yo, very, very good. Like very smart. Like that's what I like about some TV shows that like they keep you hooked. Like it's very smart TV. So like you pay attention to details and stuff like that. But best show I came out of quarantine watching. But there's been a lot of stupid shows that I've watched. Like I did watch Tiger King.
I watched the first 2 episodes. And I was like, that's it.
Yeah. It was one of those ones where
I
you
can't
after you
believe I
done
watched
watching
it.
it, like you feel bad about watching it.
I'll tell you what, though, Netflix got some gems right now.
Yeah.
They got some old gems up in there. I was like, what? They got this?
They do, yeah.
It's amazing some of the TV shows that are out there now. Real quick, going back to The Wire real quick, I might have been one of the only people that watched The Wire when it first started, because a lot of people will tell you that nobody really watched it much when it first ran through. Once it was over, people started watching it, and it started getting, the word got out how great the show was,
Yeah,
and
I think
love how
a lot of really good TV shows, like people, like we were just talking about, people sleep on it, and then you hear how good it is, and you go back and watch it.
Yeah, good stuff. Guys, unfortunately, Zoom only gives us 40 minutes, and we're down to about 5 left. Anything you guys want to plug? Anything you want to plug yourselves? Your merchandise? Anything? The floor's yours.
Yeah, tell them, Royce. We got
we got all the
whatnot.
Put this joint on real quick. Make sure I don't catch no corona out here. You know what I mean? Get the season mask.
That's it.
That looks great.
Come
on, man.
That looks great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. And on a political tip, just because it's what's going on right now, and I feel like it's only right, is justice for George Floyd.
Yes.
Definitely. You know what I mean? That's just something that's just so terrible. And I didn't really speak too much on it just because, people, take too many opinions and they run with it. And it's, nice to just have your own opinion on something.
Yeah, yep.
But I think that was terrible. And justice for George Floyd. And I just want to see things coming out of this quarantine, with people that feel like they have a lot more knowledge and, a lot more, I guess, consideration for other people's lives, honestly.
Right.
No, definitely, man. I'm glad Christian brought it up, because it was on my mind, and I didn't know if I was going to bring it up or, because I don't speak on stuff like this, because like Christian said, man, just people just say not the wrong things, but it's like it
can be taken the wrong way so easy.
Yeah, and just you put something up there, and then people you see people's views, and you got to respect it, but it's like you just don't get it, dude. So definitely sad situation that unfortunately happens way too often.
Yes.
To our brothers and sisters, and it just needs to change. I don't know what needs to happen. I'm not a leader like that, but something needs to happen. I mean, what that is, we don't know. Hopefully, coming out of this quarantine, we can work towards it.
For sure. I think people just appreciate each other. Everyone treat each other good. Aside from this, we have fun. Wrestling's an escape for us, but when it comes down to real life, appreciate what you have, appreciate your family or your friends.
Definitely.
And don't stand for no bullshit. You see someone doing something wrong, don't be scared to stand up to them. I got 3 kids that are half Hispanic, and I tell them every single day, don't allow that. Never partake in anything like that, and never allow it. Bullying, stuff like that, all that. I don't want to get too deep into it, but this poor girl decided to take her life because people are bullying her, right? Someone in our industry. That's garbage. Don't hide behind a screen and anything like that, because for real, the 3 guys you see on your screen right now could straight up punch you in your mouth for doing stuff like that in real life.
I mean, it's just if you ain't got something nice to say, just keep it moving, keep it pushing.
Yep.
Your opinion always doesn't have to be heard, doesn't always have to be put out there. We have brains that we can think to ourselves, and I could have an opinion and not share it with the world.
Right. I'll tell you, I'm glad you brought it up. I have an 18-year-old. Christian, you met my youngest. I had a nice picture of you and her from our AG show, and I talked to her about it this morning. She was very upset about what is going on with George, and I had to sit her down, man, and talk to her and tell her that it's up to us to continue to show people kindness and things like that. It's up to the individual person. You know what I mean? Like you said, Anthony, that, you teach your kids that I'm half Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? Growing up, I was called every name in the book by all the white kids that I went to school with in Lowell. You know what I mean? And it's just, you got to be kind to people, like you guys said. You just have to, it starts from each one of us. You know what I mean? And I'm glad you brought it up.
It does.
And people gotta hold each other accountable. You know, like
Yes,
I said, if
absolutely.
you hold someone accountable. Don't allow.
I think a lot of it. I mean, I think a lot of it is. I'm going to revert. It starts within the homes.
Right.
You know, racism is not something that is you're born with. It's taught. You know what I mean? Taught. So you can be untaught. You know. So it starts. I feel it starts at home. It starts at home.
I agree.
Your kids that there are different people out there. I mean, not even different. There's bicultural
Right.
communities out there, and things. You know, I can go on and on and on. It just sometimes boils my blood to talk about this type of stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear. I was very upset about it myself. Really, just ridiculous. You know, of the police just taking advantage of all these situations. And I mean, watching that video, hearing him cry for his mother. I mean, if that's not a sign something's wrong, you're doing something wrong to this guy. What is? You know what I mean?
In fact,
It just was sad.
I mean, you know, they got the serve out there, but forgot to protect.
Right. Exactly. Guys, listen, I really want to thank you guys for being the first group spotlighted on the new show. We're probably going to be pushing it back from June 1st to June 8th. But again, guys, thank you for coming on. I wish you guys nothing but success in the future. And hopefully I'll see you guys at a show soon.
That's it.
Leo, hey, thank you so much,
One time,
man.
guys. Thank you, Leo.
Nah, no problem, man, guys. Thank you. I'm just going to, so see you guys at the matches. Wow. What a great interview. I want to thank Killanova Inc., who are possibly the best trio in all of New England. We have another segment on defunct wrestling companies in New England. So here is our correspondent, Dave Fournier, on a company I used to love to watch, Tony Rumble's Century Wrestling Alliance.
Thank you, Leo, and thank all of you for tuning in to this debut edition of the New England Indy Insider. My name is Dave Fournier. I'm glad you joined us for this debut episode. My segment's going to kind of go back in time and take a look at some of the past promotions in professional wrestling, some of the past events, perhaps, as well. And on this first edition, I'm going to be focusing on the CWA, the Century Wrestling Alliance. Century Wrestling Alliance was founded by the late, great Boston bad boy Tony Rumble. The promotion was kind of an offspin of the Savoldi's International World Class Championship Wrestling promotion that Tony had been a part of for many years. Many of the stars of the IWCCW came into the Century Wrestling Alliance, like the Pink Assassin, the Surfer Ray Odyssey, Vic Steamboat, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. They were all a big part of coming to the Century Wrestling Alliance. There was also stars such as the Tasmaniac, Tommy Dreamer, the Public Enemy. Those guys all went on to become a part of ECW. Kevin Sullivan was a big part of the Century Wrestling Alliance over the years. Even when he was doing his WCW stint, Kevin would appear on a lot of the CWA shows. Kevin was obviously a New England native, which was a big part of that reason, but also a good friend of the Boston bad boy Tony Rumble. The Century Wrestling Alliance, my first exposure to them was in 1994, which is about 2 years after they started kind of running regular shows. They had run a show in Wallingford, Connecticut in November of 1992, and then in Wakefield, Massachusetts in October of 1993. The first show I saw was March 12th, 1994. That event was in Melrose, Massachusetts at the Melrose Middle School. That card featured a tremendous night of wrestling. There were some local stars like El Mascarado, the Hollywood Kid Randy Starr, the Boston bad boy Tony Rumble, who was in a big match that had been promoted on the local cable access television at the time, where he was challenging the New Hampshire Nightmare for the New England Heavyweight Championship. The match was built up so well that the crowd that was there in Melrose that night, that was the match they were all there to see. And Tony getting the win over Nightmare to win that title that night, one of the biggest reactions I ever saw. The match was only about 30 seconds long, but the crowd reaction was unbelievable that night. The card also featured some former WWF superstars that night, as it was a fundraising event. You had Superfly Jimmy Snooker and the Honky Tonk Man in the main event. You had Tony Atlas defending his CWA Heavyweight Championship against Acts of Demolition. And you had tag team champions, the Troublemakers, Big Val and Tough Tony, the Troublemakers, defending their tag team title. These guys were 600 pounds each. Big gentlemen. And they put their titles on the line against Hillbilly Jim and Cousin Luke. Hillbilly Jim and Cousin Luke would win the CWA tag team titles on that night. Just a tremendous card. One of the, fondest memories I had, and which really got me to start focusing a lot more on following independent wrestling after this night. And again, that was 1994. The Century Wrestling Alliance had a lot of exposure thanks to Pat Doyle on local cable access throughout New England. And like I said, it featured a lot of those guys from the ICW, the ECW guys that went on later to become a part of ECW. But the Century Wrestling Alliance, it was a who's who. I mean, you had stars pass through the CWA like Luis Ortiz, Latin Fury, Knuckles Nelson, Eric Spracher. The list just goes on and on. Devin Storm, who went on to become Crowbar, Ace Darling. It was just a virtual who's who of professional wrestling was part of the Century Wrestling Alliance. Tony continued to run shows and run very successful shows, almost sometimes on a monthly basis at the time. The Century Wrestling Alliance then would get its affiliation with the National Wrestling Alliance in January of 1998, where they would become an affiliate, and they would rename themselves the NWA New England. And the NWA New England gave some of the stars a chance to go outside of New England. And that was part of the years of Tony's Brotherhood, which featured Trey the Smooth Operating Gangster, Knuckles Nelson, Eric Spracher, and Tony as a group. They were the original NWO, if you ask me, without a doubt. Like I said, the CWA, some very fond memories. I actually wound up doing my own cable access show at the time out of this, and Tony was the first promoter to give me carte blanche and allow me in to interview the wrestlers, videotape some of the matches. Really my first intro into the world of independent professional wrestling. So I'm a little biased, but I will definitely say, and I'd be remiss, I forgot to mention the ring announcer was Rich Palladino. That's where Rich got his start, and we know the great ring announcer, as I always call Rich, the Fink of New England. But yeah, if you can find clips, I know they're out there on YouTube of the CWA and NWA New England. I definitely suggest you do so. They continued to run shows under Tony until, sadly, his passing that did happen in 1999, late 1999. At the time, this NWA New England was airing on WNDS out of Derry, New Hampshire, so they got some widespread, on actual television station, not that cable access wasn't, but they were all over the place. And then unfortunately, Tony's passing happened. NWA New England would continue and would continue to thrive throughout the 2000s. But really, to me, and this is no offense to the people that ran it in the years after Tony passed away, but the glory years were really the Century Wrestling Alliance. You had, as I said, so many people pass through, like I mentioned already. Surfer Ray Odyssey, the Tasmaniac, Tommy Dreamer, Kevin Sullivan was there, and then you had guys like Devin Storm, Ace Darling, and then you had Tony Atlas, who spent a long time there as the CWA Heavyweight Champion. And then you had, shows where there were WWF stars and other shows that are just, the local stars. And like I said, there were so many local stars that we've all known today, like Knuckles Nelson, Eric Spracher, Trey the Smooth Operating Gangster. They all passed through the Century Wrestling Alliance and were a big part of that success. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me on this segment. This was the first one, so it may need some fine-tuning going forward. If you do have any suggestions, make sure you look us up on Facebook. The New England Indie Insider is a Facebook group that is open to everyone on Facebook, so look that up and leave feedback, leave any comments you may have. in any subject you'd like me to discuss going forward. Anyway, that's going to just about wrap things up for me. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll tune in next time. And now, let's go back to Leo here on the New England Indy Insider.
Thank you, Dave Fournier, for that great piece on the late, great Tony Rumble's Century Wrestling Alliance. What a great company that had some great stars. Well, guys, until next time, I'll see you at the matches.